Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to dive into this interesting question of when will it happen? And whatever it means to you, so whether that's a dream job, true love, a financial breakthrough, or just something deeply personal, I hope that this reading will help you tune into the energies around your desire, your manifestation, and just know too that the universe works on its own timeline, and sometimes it could just be as simple as us shifting our energy and just meeting, spirit halfway to allow it to come in sooner than later. So take a moment to kind of just relax yourself, to clear your mind, clear your thoughts, clear your energy, and just allow, spirit to guide you to the pile or piles that best represent the messages for you at this time. So our first card here is for pile number 1, and it is the Dreams card. Our second card is for pile number 2, Queen Bee card. And then our third card for pile number 3 is the Forgiveness and Healing card. So just take a deep breath, tune into your intuition, and just allow spirit to guide you. And once you selected your pile or piles, feel free to click the timestamp below to watch your portion of the video. As always, I appreciate the love and the support, and I hope that the messages resonate with you. Hello, pile number 1. This will be for those that selected the Dreams card. So we are going to go through your cards here and see what information we can get about the timing of things, and if there's any guidance that can be helpful for you to kind of get you aligned with this particular thing that's on your mind. Okay, so we're going to go off with your tarot cards. So we have the Emperor. We have Win or Lose Way, 5 of Swords. Something Shady Way, 7 of Swords. Judgment. Happily Fulfilled Place, 10 of Cups. Overflowing Emotions Place, Ace of Cups. And then the Star. And then your other oracle cards, semi-tarot cards, are Awareness, which is the Magician. And then the 9 of Pentacles, Material Harvest. Okay. So I really feel like your pile number 1, you have some incredible cards here, and they're really laying out the how to align yourself with the timing of whatever it is that you're wanting to know about. So just kind of starting out with the Emperor, the Emperor typically is connected to like leadership and stability and control. And so this is the sign, that the timing of this manifestation or whatever it is that you want is largely tied to how much structure and confidence you built in your life towards this thing, and understanding that you don't have to wait for life to happen, you make it happen. So kind of like shifting that mindset of like, oh, I'm just going to kind of just twiddle my thumbs and just see what happens. It's more so like you needing to take charge. And I feel like with your pile card being the Dream card, it shows me that maybe there are moments where you can kind of live in the 5D realm a lot, or you utilize your third eye chakra a lot, but spirit is saying now it's time to take action. Okay, sorry about that. I wanted to pause the video because of the sirens. But, think about it this way. Let's say you're wondering about like, when will I get my dream home, right? With this Emperor card being the first card that comes out, it's saying, have you laid the foundation? Have you gotten clear about your desires? What you want in this dream home? Have you organized your steps? This card, the Emperor card, is letting you know that this is an important step, needing to like step into your power before delivering what is, what you're asking for, because it has to be clear, like, this is what I want. Okay. I feel like with the win or lose way card, which is the Five of Swords, and the Seven of Swords, there's something shady way. This gives me this energy of like a reality check. And so there might be a little bit of mental conflict at times that could be causing resistance, but maybe you're wondering, like, what if I don't succeed? What if this isn't meant for me? It's like this energy can kind of slow things down because it keeps you in a loop of overthinking rather than just like trusting and knowing it's going to work out. And so I feel like with the Seven of Swords, it's adding this additional layer that can sometimes be the people around you might not always have your best intentions, and or it could be represent too like that internal self-deception. So being very mindful of like what thoughts you're having, what are repeated thoughts that you're having and beliefs, and also to the type of environments that you're in that could be contributing to maybe the mental anxiety or this overthinking energy, and making sure that you're being honest with yourself and understanding, like, are there any limiting beliefs or fears that you have, and understanding that, okay, you addressed it, you realize that you have them. Now, what can you do to kind of debunk them or to transmute them is something that you should consider. I feel like with the Judgment card, this is like this other like wake up call vibe, especially with the, what do you call it? I don't remember what you call these things, but they're loud when you speak into them. And so it's like Spirit's way of kind of resetting you and asking you to, like, hey, pay attention to old habits and shed them, get rid of them, get rid of the limiting beliefs, get rid of anything that's keeping you stuck. And so think of the Judgment card as like this final review before your graduation. Like, are you ready to leave behind any old versions of yourself or just like habits to step into something new, right? Because if you look what's on the left of this row, it's kind of like this in between energy. It's a little nervousness, a little anxiety. But if you look to the right, it's everything that you ever wanted and more, right? And so getting into that space to realize, like, okay, I am ready. And I think that, you having the Ten of Cups and the Ace of Cups to the right, it shows us that, when it happens, it's going to feel good. It's going to feel like pure joy, pure emotional fulfillment, and it gives you that happily ever after kind of vibe. When you think about family, love, career, finances, whatever it is, it gives you that emotional fulfillment. And the Ace of Cups is giving you this energy of like this fresh start, this new beginning, this brand new emotional chapter of your life. And there's an overflow of all of the joy, all of the love, all of the abundance, all of the peace. And so I think the biggest message from these two cards is that your manifestation isn't just about getting what you want. It's about feeling deeply connected to it and understanding that when you shift the way that you think and the thoughts that you have surrounding it, it's going to magnetize even faster, even quicker than you thought, right? Because you don't have anything that you're, holding on to. It's nothing that's weighing you down anymore. And with the star is literally like one of the best cards of tarot outside of like the Sun card to me when it comes to like having hope and it being like a significant yes. And it's a beautiful reassurance for you, and it's letting you know that what you're asking about is destined for you, so it will happen. But it's all about you holding on to your faith and understanding that there might be periods of waiting, but it doesn't mean you can't have it. It doesn't mean that it's not yours. And so kind of going into these last two cards here, and then I'll get into the actual question of like, the timing of it. With the awareness and the material harvest cards, it kind of brings the reading full circle, right? Because the material harvest card, which is the Nine of Pentacles, is this powerful reminder that you've already put in the work. So this is the reap what you sow energy, right? This is, you already planted the seed, so now you get to enjoy the harvest. The universe sees your efforts. They know, like your guides, spirit knows like the work that you put in. And so your rewards are literally around the corner. And I feel like with the magician, it's literally like the chef kiss, the cherry on top, because it's a reminder that you are the master and the creator of your reality, which is why, you have the Emperor being the first card. And, this card tells me you've already have all the tools you need to make it happen. It's about you trusting yourself and aligning your vision and taking that intentional, action and step towards it, and just knowing that you can have it. So when we talk about the timing piece of it, I feel like the Emperor speaks to me a lot. Like it kind of provides that strong foundational energy, and the number 4 is just really standing out to me for some reason. So it can mean 4 days, 4 weeks, or 4 months. And what I'm picking up is that if you already been working on the clearing, the win or lose, or that shady energy, how I mentioned before, like with the mental anxiety, then this can happen pretty soon. So you'll be within like that 4-week period. But if you know that this is an area you're still struggling with and trying to figure out and navigate, it's probably going to be one of the 4-month period. And it doesn't mean it can't like cut down over time as you're like getting rid of things mentally and energetically, but definitely getting 4 days, 4 weeks, 4 months. And when a lot of that work is done and those adjustments are done, you'll see that progress, right? And the good news is that, like I said before, the star is confirming it's guaranteed. It's just a matter of how quickly you align with it, how quickly you make these shifts, and knowing that this will happen for you. And so with the 9 of Pentacles, once again, it's letting us know that there's definitely going to be some type of material reward or like confirmation that will happen, and then more of the emotional fulfillment and all of the other things are going to like play out even more. So think of it as like a domino effect. Like once you address the inner and external conflicts, then everything else just kind of falls into place naturally. So I'm trying to think of like, a way to give you another analogy. Like imagine yourself on this train, like you're waiting for a train, like you got your ticket, meaning like, you set that intention, and you're at the station. So that's like the physical work that you did. You bought the ticket and set the intention, and then you went to the station to get on the train. But the train can't arrive until like the tracks are clear. So either you sit in this 5 of Swords, this 7 of Swords energy, like the self-doubt, the shady energy, the fears, right? Or you have this moment of inner truth and realize like, wait a minute, I know the tracks are going to be cleared, or there's going to be another train that I can get on, or another way to get to where I'm trying to go. And so once all of this is cleared out, you're able to get on the train. You're able to get onto whatever form of transportation spirit wants you to get on this time. It's so interesting that during your pile, so many sirens keep going off. And this is probably one of the first time in years this has happened where it's like been nonstop through a reading. And so I feel like spirit is trying to highlight you need to pay attention to this energy. You need to address it, because the longer you go without addressing it and you keep suppressing it, it's just going to cause more chaos and mental confusion. So really be intentional about that. So long story short, like, what you want is on its way to you, and it's already yours to have. It's a guarantee, like 100%. It's literally like 100% guarantee. It's just more so like making sure that you are aligning yourself with the right energy and thoughts to complement this manifestation, this goal, whatever it is that you're wanting to attract into your life. Okay, So I hope that this reading resonated with you all and that you are excited for this new chapter of your life and whatever this is that you're bringing in, and know that it is yours and that you can have it and it's totally attainable, and it's like a birthright, right? It's literally a birthright to you. And so the universe, God, spirit wants you to have it. So know that you can enjoy it, but just be that emperor, be that magician, and tap into that energy, and not make it seem like it has to be so distant, like a dreamy type of vibe, but more so like this is going to be my reality. Okay? I love you all and I thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed your reading. Hello, beautiful souls that selected pile number 2. I am so excited to get started with your reading. So this is for those that select the Queen Bee card. And what we're going to do is go through your different tarot cards and your oracle cards and just see, what type of energy are we picking up in terms of like the timing, and if there's any advice or just guidance that Spirit has for you. Okay, so we have Quick Communication Gardens, 8 of Wands. We have Conflict Gardens, 5 of Wands. We have the Strength card. We have Provider of Prosperity and Power, King of Pentacles. We have Not Interested Place, 4 of Cups. And then we have Starting Stable Avenue, Ace of Pentacles. And then your oracle / tarot-ish cards are the 5 of Swords, Conflict and Defeat. And then the 9 of Swords, Suffering in Silence. Okay, very interesting energy here. I can tell just like from the cards, let alone in the energy, like you're someone that doesn't shy away from challenges. Those that pick this pile, you have like a very strong energy around you, one that's very determined and persistent. And so that is going to be helpful for you to get what it is that you're wanting. But the first card here is Quick Communication Gardens, 8 of Wands. I feel like this is like your cosmic like green light, because it's this card of momentum, acceleration, something coming in very quickly, very strongly, faster than you expected. And if you've been feeling stagnant or feeling like you're not getting movement, this is the universe's way of like stepping in and saying like, get things ready, because they're about to pick up, like it's about to get moving very quickly. But I also feel like Spirit is saying to balance that excitement, we have reality kicking. So with the 5 of Wands, with this Conflict Gardens in conflict and defeat, and both of these are the number 5, right? And it's interesting because both of them have conflict on it, the word conflict. So this kind of introduces this layer of challenge, right? And it tells me that while things are moving fast, the path won't entirely be smooth. That doesn't mean like it's going to be, obstacles nonstop and it's just going to be treacherous or anything like that all the time, but more so that there's going to be some competition. There's going to be some noise. There's going to be even some internal conflict, whether that be like doubt or a little bit of fear or just feeling like you need to prove yourself. But knowing that you have the strength and the power to overcome that. That is why you are the Queen Bee, right? It's very interesting. Like, this is your pal's card because it's giving this energy of like, no matter what, I'm always going to rise to the occasion. I'm going to always be at the top. And I feel like your guides are nudging you to stay focused. And, knowing that, like, think of it like this. Imagine, something literally just got in my throat and it just like cut me off. But I was going to say, imagine running a marathon, right? If you start the marathon off with your Eight of Wands energy, literally this burst of adrenaline, and you're just running and sprinting like there's no tomorrow, by the time you get halfway through, you're going to be tired and exhausted, and you probably would feel like you can't make it, right? And so the key is to understand when to step into that Eight of Wands energy and when to kind of preserve some of that energy along the way. And so I feel like with that example that Spirit provided, they're saying like, hey, just because you're going to have those moments of like obstacles or like, some hiccups, that doesn't mean you should just like put all your energy towards like fighting it off and like trying to get through it, but more so like, okay, if this is my obstacle that I'm currently facing, what can I do strategically in this moment to make sure that I don't exalt myself and my energy and my focus to the point when I get out of it, I don't want to give up. Like, I'm like, okay, we got through that. Okay, let's get to the next thing. Like, you want to make sure you're not doing so much at a time that it drains you and it takes away that joy and that, that, how do I word it? That excitement that you want to have, because it's so easy for that to happen, right? And so just being really strategic about that is something that I'm hearing Spirit say. What else can I pick up here? When it comes to like the breakdown of the timeline, like when will it happen? The Ace of Pentacles is letting me know how beautiful the end result is going to be. And it's also showing me it's about planting the seeds of your dreams and watching them grow into something stable and abundant, and knowing that in order to be the King of Pentacles, you take your time. You don't rush into anything, because the King of Pentacles is very earthy, very grounded, very focused on long-term results. They're not giving you that, the Knight of Wands energy, right? They're giving you stability. They're giving you something solid, something grounded. And so you're going to see the signs of your progress, I would say, within the next 8 days to 8 weeks, right? So 8 days to basically 2 months. And this could look like, something small, like whether it's a phone call or a message, an email, or, a sudden outburst of ideas or some movement, right? So you will see that first. And then the full desire, the full thing that you're wanting, it might take longer. It could take up to maybe 6 to 8 months, depending on what it is. Like, whatever it is that you're trying to attract or manifest into your life, it will make sense over time, right? Because some people might think like, oh, I'm actually trying to manifest my dream home, so that would take the full 8 months. And somebody might be trying to manifest a new job that might not take the full 8 months. So just don't get too stuck on the actual number, but know that it can take up to that amount of time. And it doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong or that you're being punished. It's just there could be some additional things that have to happen in order for it to to take place. And so I think that the reason why I just heard those numbers is just because it was signaling like this full cycle of growth and personal development. So in that period, a lot of that is going to happen for you, and that gives the universe, that gives God the time to build that solid foundation and to have everything be solidified, right? Think of it as like a construction project. You wouldn't want to rush the foundation of a house, right? You wouldn't want that, because the moment a storm comes, stuff is falling over and knocking down. You want it to be sturdy enough to be able to endure whatever comes its way. And that's kind of like how things are kind of playing out here. And so I feel like when we think about these little obstacles and lessons that might come along the way, it's letting me know that you shouldn't focus too much on like what's going wrong or what hasn't shown up yet, right? You might feel like you've been let down before, and that energy could create that resistance again. And so not worrying about, oh, I haven't seen the results yet. I see people getting results, when they did it and they got the results in a month, but I haven't gotten results yet and it's been a month and 5 days. Like, don't compare yourself and think that you're doing something wrong. So that's one big thing I'm picking up here. And also too, knowing that you're not in this alone. And so when you do have those moments where maybe you're a little nervous or you're feeling a little, worried, like opening up to trusted friends and family, or, talking to your guys, talking to God about this and releasing those doubts and just being honest. Like, give yourself a few minutes to psych yourself out, to spiral. And then once you give yourself those 2-3 minutes, then get yourself back together. Like, okay, that was enough of that. Now let's get back to reality. You're going to get this home. You're going to get this job. You're getting this person, this partner, whatever it is. Because if it's in you to have it, if it's in you to even have the thought of having it, clearly it's for you, right? Because you can tell when something is for you and when it's just like, oh, it was just like a passing thought. And so I feel like Spirit is just kind of like telling you to trust the soil, water your dreams, and let nature do its work. Basically, it's like the big message that I'm getting here. So know that you're going to end up with the stable avenue. You're going to get in that King of Pentacles energy, in that place, because that represents that abundance, that mastery, that stability, the confidence, all of that. So whatever it is that you're manifesting, know that it isn't just going to arrive just because it's in your heart. It's more so like you feeling the confidence and knowing and trusting that it is yours. That's when it truly comes, because then it feels like, oh yeah, this is exactly what I'm supposed to have, because I knew I was supposed to have it, right? And know that a lot of great things take time, and the time doesn't necessarily have to be long and daunting. It can just mean it's going to take a few days, it's going to take a few weeks, it's going to take a few months, right? Rare occasions it might take a few years, but know that regardless of how long it takes, you're going to get it. Okay. I don't know why, but Spirit is giving me like this visual of like, paint this picture of you. Imagine yourself being like this chef, preparing this beautiful gourmet meal. You got the best of the best ingredients. The recipe is like, it's top tier. And you're excited. You're excited about getting everything together, mixing it all up. And then let's just say during that moment, something happens. Like maybe one of the equipment pieces are not working, or, maybe you drop the sauce for the meal. And it's like, do you immediately freak out and you just shut everything down? And you're like, you know what? I can't cook this meal anymore. It's all over. Forget about it. Or do you step into that strength energy and say, okay, cool. Let me take a breath. Yep, we dropped the sauce. But can we create the sauce again? Can we, make some tweaks to the recipe or to the meal to where the final meal, the finished meal, is still a masterpiece? It's still something rewarding. It's still something great. So knowing that there might be moments where stuff might not always go as planned, but that does not mean that you're not getting it. Okay, so that was like the last little visual like Spirit gave me. So just know that the first signs you'll receive will happen within like the first 8 days to like 8 weeks, and just pay attention to like the messages and the opportunities and the shifts that you see in your energy and like that show up, and know that whatever that end goal that you have, it could take up to 6 to 8 months, and know that time is fluid. It can vary. So just trust the process. Don't worry too much on the exact number for the time. Just trust the process. Center what it is that you want in a beautiful way and work towards that, right? And know that you're getting closer to it, okay? So I hope you all enjoyed your reading. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, I appreciate the love and the support. And I'm excited for you to, manifest, to attract this beautiful outcome, this beautiful result, and look forward to hearing about it in the future. Alrighty, bye. Hello, pile number 3. This will be for those that selected the forgiveness and healing card. So we are going to go through your tarot cards and your oracle tarot-ish cards as well too, to just see what messages spirit has in terms of like the timing, and if there's any like advice, guidance that can be, helpful for you along the way. So your first card is Better Things Ahead, 6 of Swords. Heavy Burdens Gardens, 10 of Wands. The Fool. Moment of Glory Garden, 6 of Wands. I like that. The Wheel of Fortune. Forward Movement Gardens, 2 of Wands. So you have a lot of Wands energy here. As I say that, Provider of Authority and Charm, King of Wands. So it'd be very interesting if you have like a lot of fire in your chart, or maybe you just connect with a lot of fire energy, considering you have 4 cards connected to Wands. And then we have the 6 of Pentacles, material and spiritual prosperity. And then the Waiting Game. I think this is the 2 of Wands, I believe. I think these are Wands. I can't remember. You know what? I think these are Wands. So you have 5 cards with the Wands energy. And you did get the 2 of Wands here too. So you have the 2 of Wands twice. So that's definitely significant. So I feel like the energy here, just right out the back, is very like transformative. And it gives like a breakthrough vibe. It gives this long-term success surrounding you. Like this pile already feels very grounded yet dynamic. And it's giving this energy of like, a lot of you have already put in the work, so you're just kind of waiting for the scales of the universe to basically kind of like tip in your favor is what I'm picking up. So, let's just really step into it. I feel like with the it's so interesting because it literally paints this picture of like, it could feel like there are moments where you're in this rut, or you feel like things aren't really progressing. And then they're like, okay, here's a new beginning. Now you're going to see that success. You're going to see that movement. The wheel is turning. You're going to see something happen where it's like showing you that forward movement of abundance and goodness and greatness. And then you get into like that King of Wands energy where it's like, bam, there's all the luxury. Here's the material and spiritual prosperity. And so I feel like the first card that really sticks out to me is the Waiting Game card. And it's all about divine timing is what I'm hearing them say. So it's saying like, it tells me that the seeds you've planted are already growing, but they need time to fully blossom. And it's a card that talks about patience and trusting, right? And, there might be moments where you feel like you're kind of like circling the same type of path. You're waiting for this movement. But the truth is, the universe, God is just basically aligning things perfectly for you, but you just can't see the roots growing beneath the surface yet. And sometimes when we are trying to grow something, we're doing what we need to do, but we don't see the progress. So we're like, oh, it's not working, it's not happening. And then if you give it like an extra month or, a couple extra weeks, then you finally see some progress. You're like, wow, so it really was working. And it's like, yeah, you just didn't see it. And that's okay. And so there's like this energy of like kind of to, knowing that the wait hasn't been in vain, and that at some point things are going to shift, they're going to turn, but it's all about you being ready to just move into that space of opportunity and alignment, and know that the wheel will turn in your favor when you stay open, when you stay committed, when you stay basically kind of adaptable and just ready to seize the moment and just be patient. And of course, we can get tired of hearing that, being patient and whatever, but it's like the moment you really just trust and go with the flow is when things just kind of pick up and take off. And so I feel like when we think about your card for your pile, forgiveness and healing, it gives me this vibe of like you realizing like, you know what, I've been putting too much pressure on myself. I've been putting too much pressure on God, the universe, to show me X, Y, and Z, and not giving the space to actually perform, not giving the space to actually let the seeds, grow. And when you think about when you plant a seed, you don't sit there every day, every second, waiting for it to grow. You don't just sit there looking at it. If you did that, you would literally be wasting your entire life doing that, because you're not going to see movement the moment you plant it, right? You're going to see the movement when you randomly just walk by and you're like, wow, it's growing. There's a flower, there's some roots, whatever it is. Like no one sits and wait for paint to dry. We don't do that. What do? We paint the wall or let someone paint it, and then we go about our day. We go about our, life, and then we come back and then it's dry. Because it would be pointless to sit there and just wait for it to dry and look at it, because you're not going to see it dry in a way that's going to make you feel good. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, I've been looking at this wall for an hour and it's still wet. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to become flustered. But if you go about your day, go about your business, and know that the paint will dry, when you come back, you're going to see that progress and that movement, and it's going to be exciting. Like, oh wow, that didn't take as long as I thought it did. Or like, wow, it's really drying really well. Like you get excited about it. So that's the key. So in terms of like the actual timing, since for the reading, I feel like you're going to start seeing signs of progress probably within 6 to 8 weeks. And this could look like, a new opportunity. It can be physical movement, relocation, communication, whatever, right? So it just basically depends on like what it is that you're, wanting to know about. I feel like what the key thing though is that the progress doesn't happen or come without effort. So it's not saying like you might have to, like, let's say for example, you want to get back with an ex. It's not saying that, oh, you got to go reach out to the ex in order to get the progress, in order to get the communication. It's saying you have to put effort in within yourself in some way, whether that is just enjoying your life, whether that is, adjusting old habits or old beliefs about yourself, or dating, or whatever it is about that person, in order to really see the progress, because that's essential here, is what I'm picking up. And so once you kind of overcome those small little hurdles, or like whatever it is, you start to be able to reach your destination with a little bit more speed. I do see, like, in terms of like the full fruition of the desire, like the goal, the manifestation, whatever it is that you want, it could take up to 6 months, where you actually get it to the full capacity, right? So let's say your goal is to manifest your ex-back. So the first 6 to 8 weeks part of it is like, y'all reconnect, y'all see there's still chemistry there, this, that, and the third. And then, maybe within that 8-week period up into 6 months, it's like you're dating each other, you're spending more time together. And then it's like, okay, they officially, say like, let's get back together. Or it can be before 6 months. It's not saying it's going to take 6 months. It's just saying it could take up to 6 months, basically. And know that time is fluid. It could be an illusion. So we say 6 months, and then whatever it is that you're trying to, attract into your life, it might take you 2 weeks. But it's all about you do what you need to do to make sure you're good to go. That allows you to get it, sooner than later, right? And a significant number for your pile might be 666. And so that gives me like that harmony vibe. It gives me like the lover's vibe in tarot. And so that could be significant for you. I feel like in terms of like any lessons or challenges along the way, it's just more so about like responsibility and knowing that you have been carrying a lot, and you need to let go of some of that emotional the baggage, right? So forgiving and healing. You need to let go of any additional physical work that you're putting on yourself, or anything that's causing you like a mental strain, because you're waiting for this breakthrough to happen. You're waiting for something to happen. You're waiting for progress. And so when you let that go and you realize you don't have to carry that anymore, it's going to be so much easier. You're going to be able to allow things to flow to you beautifully, right? And know that better things are ahead, and you're going to be very relaxed. You're going to be in this space of like enjoying the calmer waters, and know that it is okay if you can't take everything with you, because it wasn't meant to be with you on this boat. Because usually the Six of Swords is like a person on a boat going, forward. And think about it. You don't want to have a lot of stuff on your boat, because what's going to happen? It's going to sink. So you want to be very mindful of like what you carry with you into this new phase, this new chapter of your life, right? And knowing that when you take this leap of faith, when you take this, make this move, don't be reckless. Don't carry more than what you should carry, right? And know that your journey is requiring you to put both effort in, but also to surrender. And it's not saying to give up on anything. It's just saying to trust and know what's meant for you will find you when you are aligned with knowing that that is true, and knowing that you deserve it and you can have it. You totally can have it, even if life has shown you over and over again that that's quote unquote not the truth. Fix the way you think and fix the way you believe certain thoughts, and watch it change. Watch it change. I promise you. So, I would just say this, that those that pick this pile, I don't know why, but I get like a lot of you are getting some public recognition and celebratory energy here. So whatever you're working toward, or like wanting to achieve, wanting to attract in your life, know that it's happening, and you're getting that recognition, you're getting that acceptance letter, you're getting that approval, whatever. I don't know how to explain it, but I get some of this energy is like someone is waiting on like an approval and acceptance. It's happening. Just know that when you put the work in and make the adjustments, you're going to get it. So like, for example, if you're trying to buy something, put the work in for the next 6 months, whether that means like budgeting better, or, cutting out different costs. And then 6 months later, you have that material prosperity where you're able to get approved for that loan, or get approved for that credit card, get approved for, whatever it is. Okay. So, trying to see if there's anything else that Spirit wants to kind of like highlight or just share. Yeah, I just feel like they're saying you have all that you need and then some. So don't even worry about wondering if you're missing out, or if you're showing up short in any way. Just know that you already got it, and it's set, and you're good to go. Okay. So I hope that you all resonated with this reading. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, I appreciate that love and that support, and I wish you all the best. Bye.